Okay, guys. So today is gonna basically be a crime story. I never did this before, but here it goes. So this starts back in 2007, and our story begins in Esto, Florida. There isn't much around there. It's a very small town, and overall, there wasn't really much to see. Amanda Lewis was a single mother of two kids. She had a 7-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. They had fathers, but neither one of them were a part of the kids' lives. Amanda had a very troubling relationship with her daughter from the start. Adrianna Lewis suffered from ADHD, which led to a lot of frustration for Amanda because her daughter was always hyper. She didn't really want to settle down often. She was a troublemaker, and this led to Amanda being very short-tempered with Adrianna. Amanda's son, however, was the exact opposite. AJ Hutto was very quiet, very chill, and overall out of the way, and didn't really cause any problems for Amanda. On August 8th, 2007, the day started out as normal. Amanda worked as a nurse at a nearby medical center. Being exhausted from the night shift, she took her kids. Right before taking a nap that morning, she said that her kids were watching TV, and she told them that her plans for the day were to take them shopping for school supplies because the kids were about to start school the following month. And so later that day, after Amanda's nap, when they were getting ready, the kids actually wanted to go out and play for a bit, so Amanda let them do so while she finished up getting ready. And I should mention that sitting in the family's front yard was a pool. It was an above-ground pool standing around 8 feet wide and 4 feet deep. According to Amanda, AJ came in and said, "Mom, Adriana's in the pool." And at first she thought that he meant that she was just playing up around the pool. So she told AJ to go bring his sister inside the house. And so AJ went back out, and according to Amanda, she went out sometime later to see what was going on for herself, and this is apparently when she realized that Adrianna was literally in the pool. And this is what led to the frantic 911 call.
What did you see?
He was raking in the water with his hand, like he was trying to grab her. I ran out the house. When I got to the pool, that's when I seen her. She was face down. She was very purple, very blue.
I need an ambulance.
What's wrong, ma'am?
My daughter fell in the pool and she's not breathing.
And she's not breathing? How old is she?
She's 7 years old.
All right, hang on just a second, ma'am.
Oh, God. Her lips are purple. What do I do? What?
Pretty frantic. And this picture was actually taken when the paramedics showed up at the scene. The responders performed CPR, and they actually thought that she had a chance for survival. She was rushed to the hospital, and of course Amanda went with her. AJ, on the other hand, sorry, that's my cat if you hear her. AJ, on the other hand, actually got picked up by his grandfather. The nurse described Adrianna as lifeless. She worked on her for over an hour. She got a few pulses back, but they didn't last long. And sadly, it really just didn't look like she was going to make it, and she was, in fact, pronounced dead later that day. Despite the tragedy of Adrianna's death, it really just didn't seem like anything but that. They didn't expect any foul play, and it was really just believed to be an accidental drowning. And they were about to write it off as such. And that's when they got a phone call from AJ's grandparents saying that AJ was telling them some really concerning stuff, and they think that the police should hear about it. So AJ was brought in, and what AJ had to say was, "Mommy dunked my sister."
Tell me what you mean when you say dunk. Somebody dunked somebody.
Mama dunked my sister.
What does that mean?
Drowning. Adrian was just in the pool with Mama, but Adrian was laying like this and Mama holding him like this so she wouldn't scream.
Little AJ went on to say that Amanda got extremely angry with Adrianna for spraying glass cleaner all over the house. So as a punishment, she held Adrianna's head in the water and she basically died as a result of that. So an investigation was quickly launched, and of course, one thing you do is look into all possibilities. When Amanda was asked why AJ would say such a thing, would make such damning allegations towards her, she at first said she didn't know, but then started pointing the finger at her stepdad, who was of course the one that picked AJ up that day, Charles. And when Amanda was asked why Charles would do that, she said it was because her stepdad always hated her. And that part was actually true, because Charles actually admitted that he did in fact hate Amanda. And the reason for that is because he didn't like the way Amanda treated her children. He described Amanda as neglectful. The kids were hungry a lot. It would often be dark before they would eat. But still maintained his innocence, saying that despite his hatred for Amanda, he would never coax AJ. And this is further supported when investigators spoke to other people that knew the family. Everybody expressed concerns for the children being neglected and possibly abused. And as if things weren't already looking pretty bad for Amanda, things got even worse when investigators looked at Amanda's house, because the house was a total pigsty. It was just drenched in the stench of urine and clutter all over the floor. And if you didn't know better, you wouldn't really think there were kids living there, because the house severely lacked the one thing you would expect to see in a house with kids: toys. And when Amanda was asked about it, she said that she took the toys away as a punishment and she stored them away in the shed. And I don't know if she thought that they weren't gonna look in the shed, but they did. And sure enough, not a single toy in sight. It only took 1 month after Adrianna's death for Amanda to be arrested and charged with first-degree murder. And at first, she was offered a plea deal, believe it or not, saying that if Amanda would just plead guilty, she would only serve 10 years. But Amanda said nope. She didn't want to plead guilty to a crime that she apparently didn't commit. So the deal was off, and the trial began. And little AJ was brought in to testify. That's right, they had a little 7-year-old testify against his own mother. But I guess it was kind of necessary, considering that he was the only witness. And things became very emotional and complex in the courtroom when little AJ didn't even recognize his own mother. Something even Amanda Lewis was surprised about.
Can you tell me what the truth is?
It's not a lie.
If I told you your mother was in the courtroom here today, would that be the truth?
No, so.
That would not be the truth. Why is that? Because she's not in the courtroom?
No, so.
Okay. So your mother is not in this courtroom?
No, so.
Okay. And you're telling me that that is the truth, that your mother is not in the courtroom?
Yes, so.
Okay. Where is your mother?
Jail.
She's in jail. You don't see her in this courtroom, do you?
No, so.
Because she can't be here. She's in jail, isn't she?
Yes, so.
It would be impossible for her to be here in the courtroom, wouldn't it?
Yes, so.
Thank you, AJ.
And Mr. Basford.
Yes, so.
When is the last time that you saw your mother? Do you remember?
No, so.
Has it been a long time?
Yes, so.
Who do you live with now? Ever seen her before?
No, so.
All right. That woman sitting right there between them, Have you ever seen her before?
Yes, sir.
Who is that?
My mother.
Now you recognize your mother?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Twice.
AJ? AJ,
Yes, sir.
give me your hand. All right. Here. Here. AJ, do you see these people sitting over here?
Yes, sir.
I met these people yesterday for the first time. And I told them today that Adrianna was dead. Is she dead? Gonna have to answer so they can hear.
Yes, sir.
They want to know how Adrianna died.
Yes, sir.
Now, I wasn't there, AJ, was I?
No, sir.
Were you there when she died?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell them how she died?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
As it turned out, there has always been a troubling history between Amanda and her daughter. When Adrianna was a baby, Amanda made some concerning comments, saying that she had trouble bonding with Adrianna. She actually kept her daughter with her grandparents for a while, Adrianna's grandparents for a while, during the time that Amanda was in the military. A woman who worked at the nursing home with Amanda also testified, saying that shortly before Adrianna's death, Amanda had come to work one morning extremely upset and very angry. Her daughter was behind her crying, and her co-worker was like, "What's wrong, Amanda?" And Amanda was just like, "I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill her." Amanda was as it turned out, Amanda was angry at her daughter for getting permanent marker all over her new car seats. And take a look at what else Amanda had to say.
It was one particular day we sat in the courtyard. It's a courtyard there at the facility where you go outside and you smoke. And we talked, and she said, I don't know why I don't love her. And I was like, why don't you love her? She said, I don't understand what's going on. She says maybe because at the time I left to go into the military and my mom took care of Adrianna and we just didn't get a chance to bond.
That doesn't make any sense, considering it was only 6 weeks, and she had 7 years to bond with her daughter. And it was also said in court that Adrianna was terrified of water. Both AJ and adults confirmed that she was afraid of the water. She wouldn't go anywhere near it. She didn't like having water on her face. The medical examiner confirmed that there were bruises and other markings on Adrianna's body, clearly indicating that there was a struggle. You don't receive those types of injuries just by drowning in the pool. And take a look at what else the medical examiner had to say.
I originally about this is that it was a handprint. I placed my hand over the bruises, and as you can see on the side of the cheek here, it lined up perfectly with this side of my left thumb. This would be the index finger where it lined up, my middle finger, ring finger, and then either one of these two smaller bruises matched where my pinky would be, and the ball of my hand was consistent with that. The mark that was on the bridge of the nose, it did seem to fit.
And if you would, ma'am, just use your left hand as you would on your face, demonstrating to the jury how that would have been. Okay. All right. Now, you didn't.
So as you just heard and saw, that's incredibly similar to what AJ described in his interview, demonstrating his mother putting his hand over Adrianna's face. It only took 2 hours for the jury to reach a verdict, and so they were pretty darn sure about it, and sure enough, she was found guilty of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison. So clearly the judge showed no mercy on her whatsoever. Not that she really deserved it anyway. And also too, and you know, it's pretty crazy considering the fact that she was offered a plea deal, and she would have only served 10 years and could have been out by now, but no, she didn't want to. She has since appealed, and the judge said nope, and she remains in prison to this day. And the other thing is too, I should probably mention that way back before Adrianna and AJ were born, Amanda Lewis did have another kid. She had a son, and it was a baby at the time. I believe his name was Alex, and he died very suddenly, very abruptly. And at first it was determined that he was probably some sort of a seizure, but looking back on it now, they think that she might have had something to do with that as well. And if you're wondering about AJ, he ended up getting adopted by those who cared for him since his mother's arrest. And that is pretty much it for this video, so let me know what you think. But some people believe that she's innocent, believe it or not. Some people do believe that she's innocent. I personally believe that she's guilty. So, alright, that's it for today.